So welcome to part 2 of our spaghetti squash series. Today we're going to be making my mom's spaghetti sauce, which as an adult I realized you probably would call a Bolognese sauce, but to me it was just spaghetti. We are going to be eating it with the spaghetti squash, of course, but you can also do it with noodles, or you can use it to make a messy Giuseppe, right? That's the Italian sloppy Joe, right? Yeah. But we're going to eat it with the spaghetti squash because super yummy. First, we are going to cut up our veggies. We're going to start getting those cooking, and then we're going to cook the meat. Tonight we're using beef, but you could also do ground turkey if you want it a little bit leaner. So let's get started. Now we've got our onions and green pepper chopped up. We're going to start with the onions in the pan, so we're going to turn that on. And that's not the right burn. Kind of like medium-high heat. Put a little bit of olive oil in here. Okay, so oil is heated. Just gonna slide these onions in here. So we're gonna cook them for a couple minutes until they start to get a little translucent. And then I'm also gonna add just a little bit of garlic. Kind of let that get aromatic. Shelby, come here. Come here. Okay, there you go. Right underfoot. She's like, no, Mommy, you're supposed to be behind the camera. Lauren Shelby is supposed to be cooking. In go the green peppers. Getting all cozy. And now we're going to add in the mushrooms. Because we're in the middle of a pandemic, we're using canned mushrooms, which are not my favorite, but I still want to put some mushrooms in here, and this is what we have, so it's what we have in the pantry. Yay. They'll be more flavorful if you cook them with other flavorful things, so that's why we're adding them now. This sauce, this meat sauce, is also a great place to hide vegetables, so we're actually also going to be throwing in some frozen spinach, but we're going to do that later. But yeah, you can have a really great vegetable to meat ratio and it's still super tasty, so why not? So because my mom was a busy lady and very much a believer in the one-pot meal, we are actually going to just leave these veggies in here while we cook the meat. So we're going to kind of leave them to the sides of the pan and then cook the meat in the center while they're just kind of chilling at the sides. So we're going to break up the meat, and our meat was not 100% defrosted, but that's okay. You can work out your aggression, you know, on the meat. Sips beverage. So as your meat starts to brown, it's okay if the, onions and peppers and mushrooms kind of start to get mixed in with it. That's totally fine. So we don't want to start adding sauce until that pinkness is kind of gone, because, we want to be able to tell when the meat's fully cooked. I'm not allowed to use the nice can opener anymore, is that what you're saying?
You're making me nervous. I mean, who was it that broke the second can opener?
I just don't know my own strength. Alright, so our meat is nicely browned, which means it is time to add some sauce and do some seasoning, which is my favorite part. So, add a little bit of sauce, basically using an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce for 1 pound of ground beef. And then we're also going to use most of a small can of tomato paste as well, if not all of it. Scoop that in there. And the tomato paste is kind of what helps make it kind of a really thick, hearty sauce. So definitely don't skip that. Stirring all that in. Yeah, see how it kind of thickens up once you add the tomato paste? So we haven't put in any seasoning yet, so now's the time to do that. I'm also just going to put in a little bit of red wine and let that cook off a little bit too. You don't have to put in a ton, but I feel like I'm a broken record saying this. It adds some depth. Just a little bit. I'm also going to turn the heat down just a little bit. So now we're kind of at like a medium. Ooh, fresh basil. Lauren Shelby has been keeping our basil plant alive.
It's kind of scrawny.
She's being modest. She's kept this plant alive and it has thrived under her care. Thrived, I tell you. Thyme is like my favorite seasoning. So don't be scared. I said it before, don't be scared of using seasoning and seasoning to taste. Oregano, a little bit of garlic powder, some salt. I'm gonna just tear up my basil leaves. Smells good.
When it gets that sound to it, that means it's right?
Oh, and we gotta put our spinach in here too. Okay, so I'm just gonna plop a bunch of spinach in here. It's frozen, so you wanna give it a couple minutes to acclimate and kind of come up to temp. That looks good. And whenever you're cooking, don't forget to taste your food. Tasting is the way to make it right if it's not right already. It needs more of everything. That's why we taste. So I forgot this before, I'm also going to add some dried basil because again, fresh versus dried is going to have a different quality. It's going to add a little bit something different to it. Cool, so I pretty much just threw in a bunch of ingredients until I felt like it was right. I also added a little bit of rosemary and I like a little bit of cilantro in my Italian sauce. I think that's not everybody, but I think it's tasty. So absolutely take this, you know, with a grain of salt. Make it the way you like it because you're the one who has to eat it. So I made a mess and now we're gonna eat this tasty food. So yay. Yum. Oh, I'm so excited. Yum, yum, yum. Finish it off with a little Parmesan cheese. Again, this is what we could get at the store because pandemic. Spaghetti and spaghetti squash. Super tasty.